Hello everybody, Shelly here, and I thought I would go over what I'm using lately. These are the 10 eyeshadow palettes that are appealing to me this summer season. The ones that are really drawing me, the ones that are, some of them are new-ish, some of them are not so new-ish, and these are the ones that I'm reaching for, that I'm exploring, that I'm playing with. One that I've never used, and then a few that are like, I can't live without them. This is not my top 10 couldn't live without eyeshadow palettes. These are just the ones I'm using right now. If you guys have been around for a while, I did them at the beginning of the year. I started off doing a couple of these. I just kind of got busy filming other stuff, new releases, other things that were exciting me. 3 looks with 1 palette, the huge. If you guys are new here, I am not a makeup artist. I'm not even a professional YouTuber. I'm just a lady of a certain age playing with makeup, and I have an absolute love affair with eyeshadow palettes. I look for palettes that I can get multiple looks that'll serve me for a variety of situations. Things like, can I wear something for work? I work in a corporate environment with a lot of people, you know, the whole elevator speech. You're in the elevator with the president and you have to make a first impression. You got 30 seconds to pitch your idea, your thought, your project. That's kind of how I work in small snippets. I do a lot of Zoom calls, of course the in-person meetings. I'm an industry speaker, so I have those things where I have to look polished, professional, and not overdone. But I'm a lover of color. I'm a lover of fashion. I love playing with trends. I like seeing if we can take trends and translate them into ladies of a certain age, or do they only work for younger people? Is there a way we can do it tastefully that will work with our lifestyle? Whether we're busy moms, whether we're volunteering somewhere, whether we're going out to wine tasting or farmers markets, fun, interesting cultural things, festivals, fairs, socially distanced, of course. If you're doing any of those things, can we find eyeshadows that will fit with that? And then, you know, I'm married, so I want to be able to do the date night look. And maybe we're not going out to dance clubs or whatever else. I want to, on date nights, I like to amp it up a little bit. I like to be a little bit more exotic, a little bit more mysterious. I do go overboard with eyeshadow. I also abuse blush. I try not to abuse lipstick too, because that would just throw off the balance. I'm going to show you, and I'll briefly explain to you why all of these are kind of my reaching for palettes right now. I would love to know if you guys have any of these, if you guys use any of these, are you interested in any of these, or if you'd like me to come back and actually do 3 looks with 1 palette. If one of them is like, oh, I was curious about that, I want to see your takes on it. Eventually, probably they all will if they haven't already, so just be prepared. Eventually, you might see something, but if there's something that you want to see before then, let me know and we'll bump it to the top of the list and I'll get it filmed for you sooner than later. All right, let's get into this. So the first thing is I've got 2 of these mini mix palettes from Ofra Cosmetics. There's a lot of controversy in the last few months about Ofra Cosmetics. Ask me if I care. This one right here was kind of a spring palette for me because of this minty green, but I'm finding that when I'm in a rush, this becomes a fantastic go-to palette because you do have your blush, you do have your bronzer, you do have a whole bunch of highlighters to choose from. You have some mattes, some shimmers, a nice combination. I like this palette quite a bit. This is another one. This is the Belongs to Life's a Draft palette in collaboration with Samantha March. This I thought was very well curated, and I don't know, you can tell I've got kind of like this lavender sort of sweater on right now, but I love the purples and I love the warm colors. I think this is actually very well done. The tones actually work for me pretty well. I think that the bronzer and the blush are slightly shimmery than what I'm used to, so I just make sure I go in with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer or a little bit of a mattifying, translucent, blurring setting powder. The Dior Powder No Powder works really well, I think, with this as well. Those are my easy go-to. I don't want to think about my makeup today. I want to just grab something that's all in one, all in done. Okay, these 2 next ones are a little bit older, but they're still so much fun. This is the e.l.f. collaboration with Chipotle, and I think this gives me my neutrals that I can wear to work, but it also gives me these really just, I don't know, for me, fun pops of color. You've got this orange, you've got this green in here. I'm a lover of grungy greens, and I don't know where that came from. I am prior Army, so maybe that's where it came from. You can't get it once you go green. I don't think that's a saying. Okay, you guys, speaking of greens, that ColourPop Mandalorian palette. When I first saw this, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not a huge stan of Star Wars, and I didn't watch the Mandalorian show, so the marketing didn't necessarily appeal to me. But this palette right here has become so versatile and so just user-friendly. And if you do like to dabble in green, this is a safe way to do it. I just really, really love this. The color pop quality is so consistent. For the price point, for the color stories, for the curation of it, I just think that they're kind of foolproof. It's not hard to mess them up. I think we're getting a little bit more expensive right now. So I've got 2 palettes from Sigma. You guys have seen this one before though. This is the Quarter Rosa palette, and it's so beautiful. The formula is great. It gives me great, easy, effervescent, coral toned summer colors. Love, love, love it. The other palette from Sigma is one that I haven't ever actually even used, but I'm excited to. And when I started thinking about the palettes that I wanted to dabble in more, I reached for Enchanted. I've owned it for a little while. I was kind of saving it to film, but it's not new, and so I don't know why I'm still saving it, other than, oh, brush. I'm glad it was a brush and not an eyeshadow pan. These colors just really, really spoke to me. I think that they're very, very beautiful. You've got some kind of teal kind of colors. You've got a lighter green. You've got the purples. You've got all the neutrals. Then you have this acid green, gold over here. This is a variety of looks, and I think that this is one that I can wear with glasses too, because I think the neutrals, the mattes in here, can buff out and soften any look to make them not so dark and heavy when you do wear glasses. If you wear glasses. I wear glasses more days than not. I used to not. I used to hate glasses, and now I'm just lazy. This is not the newest Natasha Denona release. Circo Loco came out after this. However, this is a summer palette for me. This gives me the greens. This gives me the purples. This gives me my kind of orangey, apricot-y colors. I have done several looks with this palette. I've used it for date night. I've used it for daytime. This becomes a really easy go-to, whether I'm out and about in natural daylight, whether I'm wearing sunglasses, where I want something just a little bit more interesting. This has been a no-brainer go-to palette for me. I don't have to think about it. Moving on to Pat McGrath. This palette right here, this is Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. I think I have all of her Mothership palettes. I'm pretty sure I do. But this time of year, I feel like this is the one that's getting to me. You've got the bronzy, warm colors. You've got this duochrome green that is just stunning. And then you've got all of these neutral browns over here that make this a super easy, everyday wearable go-to palette. I think this was an Allure Award winner, Allure Beauty Award winner. It makes sense to me. Probably one of my favorite Pat McGrath palettes, just because it satisfies a variety of needs for me. I don't have to grab different palettes to achieve a look. It's just really stunning. And then because I am a lover of color and I am exploring out of my comfort zone, I did grab her. This is the Mega Celestial Divinity palette that came out, I think, last winter. This was cheaper than her, less expensive than her normal regular large palettes. I think this was, the price point on this was like $78, which is still excessive. But the pan size is a little bit smaller. And I think that works for me because I can do a neutral look, you know, one of these neutrals in here, one of these mattes, and then grab a pop of color and it makes it super fast. But if I'm excited and want to do something a little bit more edgy, I think this gives me edgy too. This is just super, super versatile. So when I think about the palettes that I can reach for, and I can come up with a variety of different looks using the same thing, and it's not just the same vibe, the same color story. You're gonna get the same color story from this palette. You're gonna get the same color story from the Ofra palettes. With this, I think you get every mood. You get every woman that you are. If you have multiple personalities, you have all of those too. Okay. This is the last, no, this is the second to last palette. This one is by far the most ginormous palette on here. I bought this and I was super excited to play with it, and I just haven't yet. But it still really appeals to me. This is the Morphe 35D Desert Bouquet. I want to reach for larger palettes more than I do. I buy these large palettes thinking if I had one palette, this would be everything. Because it's huge. It's ginormous, right? But this I loved because you do have some of the warmer neutrals. You have some of the cooler neutrals. You've got the pops of pink. You've got orange and yellow and green. And this is everything to me except for maybe like a navy blue. If they would have put one, or maybe even like a turquoise, it wouldn't have gone with the theme, the whole desert bouquet theme. but that might have made it a perfect palette for me. I don't think I needed both of these lighter colors out here. I could maybe get rid of one of those and put in a blue or a turquoise, or a teal with a blue eye or brown eyes. Okay, guys. So this is going to be this will be easy one. It's similar to me, like the one that came out in June for Pride, the Trevor Project palette. I think that there's some greens in there that I really love. I'm going to wrap this up because my battery's blinking at me, but this is the palette that I have on right now. This is the latest Pat McGrath. Hopefully when this goes up, it'll still be the latest. This is the Venus in Fleurs Luxe Quad Voyeuristic Vixen palette. I opened it up the first day I got it, and one of the shadows broke, but that has not stopped me from using it. It's what I have on my face right now, or at least on my eyes. This shade that broke is heartbreaking because it is the most beautiful shimmer. This duochrome is stunning. The matte blends out effortlessly. This is fantastic if you're gonna splurge and do one thing. So it has been what I've been reaching for because I feel so beautiful when I wear this. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Natasha. Thanks, Ofra. Thanks, Morphe. Thanks, ColourPop. Who else do I have in here? Natasha, Sigma, Pat McGrath, Morphe, Ofra, ColourPop, Elf Cosmetics, Eyes, Lips, Face. That's all stuff that we like here. And at the end of the day, we're just ladies of a certain age playing with makeup for the sheer joy of playing with makeup. We're okay making mistakes because at the end of the day, it just washes off. So I hope you guys take with you this feeling of you should feel beautiful. That's what I think you guys should do. At the end of the day, we're doing the best we can with what we have, and we're trying not to embarrass our family. So I hope you guys are doing really well. I hope this was interesting to you. I would love to know, are you guys playing with any of these palettes? Am I completely off base? Is there something else out there that you're dipping back into, that you're shopping your stash, that you're reaching for that you didn't think you would? Let me know. I want to know about all these things. Feel free to follow me over on Instagram at Sheli Tsunami, and until my next video, bye for now.